Good morning, FlossTube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel about cross stitch. Every once in a while, we do something else crafty. Today, it's mostly cross stitch with just one answered question that shows some other stuff that I use that I used with last week's little travel tin that I made for my cross stitch. If you are new, welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play and giving my channel a try. I hope you like what you see and you'll press like and subscribe and leave comments. Love it. And if you are returning, thank you so much. I love you guys and I am so grateful that every week that you come back and check out my channel and leave me great comments. I love it. I love it, love it. I loved some of the Cranberry comments this week. That was great. So let's get started. I had two questions that I thought I would address, and I always answer everything, always in your comments. So if you asked it, I answered it within your comments. So make sure if you miss a video somewhere or other, I did answer, I promise. But if I didn't answer it well enough, feel free to always ask me again. And you can always send me an email or DM if you don't want to keep doing it in the YouTube comments. So one of the questions I got was, what tape did I use for my little tin, my travel tin? So I used two different types. I'm showing you three because on one part you can use one or the other. And then I definitely used for the side, for the ribbon, a specific type of tape. So I had to put something on the top of the tin, I should have brought it, and then on the side of the tin. On the side of the tin, I put ribbon, and because I wanted to make sure it stayed, I used the red line tape. I'm pretty sure you can get this at the big box craft stores. There's lots of places online. If you need guidance, I'd be happy to help you. This stuff, when it sticks, it sticks. I like to use this with metal. I've also used it before with glitter, but glitter's a mess, so we don't try to do glitter too often. And you can use it with paper, but I'm telling you, you are not moving anything. You will rip the paper if you try to move it with this. So the red line tape is for the side because I knew I wanted that ribbon to stay, not move. I could have used it for the top, but because the top, the cardstock really isn't going to go anywhere, I decided to use something that was not quite as strong. And I'm trying to think, these are still tough. There's two different types. These are still tough to come up with. So you do run the risk of ripping any paper or cardstock that you use. One of them is called score tape, and that's what it's called. And it's got kind of like a little blue thing here. What's nice about this you can do is you can just hand rip it if you wanted to. I cut it just because I cut everything. I have a specific scissors, the tonic scissors actually can cut these types of things and they don't get gooky with the tape. So I have a scissors that I use for paper and I have one that I use for these types of things, and then I have a bigger one for ribbon that doesn't touch anything else. So you can either use score tape. This one looks similar, so they're pretty much the same. These come in a gazillion different sizes. I just grabbed these two. And this one is called Miracle Tape. Same concept. I assume you can rip it. I've never tried. Again, I use my special scissors, my tonic scissors for it. And I will link the places you can get both of these. And I'll look to see online if there's anywhere specific. I wonder if like a scrapbook.com, is that still around? They might just sell it. I used to get smaller batches from a place called Pennywise Arts. I don't know if they're still around, and I'm not sure where I clearly got this one online because there's no way, I doubt I would get this at a big box store. So I'll look for a link on that. I will link the other twos. There's specific places you get the score tape and the Miracle tape, but they're great too. And if I'm putting ribbon on a card, I generally will use either the score or the Miracle tape. I don't waste, the red line is purely for things like metal for me. So I will look those up in case you're interested. And you may already know, because I know a lot of you are paper crafters. The other thing that I had mentioned in passing when I was talking about my pumpkin owl was the idea of, it's technically called the rule of thirds, although I wasn't sure what it was called. It's just the whole idea of design in odd elements. That is not a cross stitch rule. I just want to put that out there. I seem to, when I'm doing my cross stitch, I seem to bring things from everywhere else into it. Hence my 3 different types of tape for one little project. But this happens to be something that's more in the decorating realm. So the idea of rule of thirds is that when things are in groupings of 3 or 5 or 7, there's something about the odd numbers that's more pleasing to the eye, and it will help you actually, your eye, move through the pattern more, as opposed to even numbers. For some reason your eyes get stuck and they don't move in the same direction. So it creates movement by having things that are in odd. You can do it by like 3 stacks of something like books, or you can do like a tableau here, here, and here, creating a triangle. I have pictures up behind me, and I have them in an odd number arrangement and different orientations. So the whole idea was that your eye would move through the pictures. So that's where it comes from. And rules can be broken, so it's not like that's the end all be all. It just happens to be something that I have found and used. And if you look at design, you know, like the magazines that show like fancy layouts and stuff, start looking at mantles or coffee tables, and you'll start to see probably that rule coming alive within it. You know, it kind of just depends. It depends on what you're looking for. I happen to find it pleasing, so that's what I use, but you know, to each his own, right? You do you. So those are the 2 questions. Feel free to ask any more as we go along if you need to know more. All right, I have 2 finishes, one of which is the pumpkin owl. So this is a digital pattern, Crocette Go-Go. I know somebody asked. I did send you an email, as well as I did answer it in the questions down below. It's an Etsy shop, so you can find them on Etsy. I find it's better to go to Google and say Crocette Go-Go Etsy shop, and that'll give you the straight link. If you go to Etsy and you put in Crocette Go-Go, if they have anything that's paper patterns, you will get all the stores that sell those as well, and you won't necessarily be directed to the main store. So that's just my little tip. And I'm on Etsy. I sell on Etsy, but I still prefer to go through the Google searches. Etsy searches can be a mess. But anyway, that's the pattern. And I finished it. Here we go. Whoops. So this is on 18 count King's Gold by My Vintage Needlearts. If you are brand new, everything you see will be 18 count. So I will sometimes say it, sometimes not. Rest assured, it is 18, but feel free again. You can always ask to double check me. I'm trying to think, that's golder. But if we bring it up close, it starts to wash it out just a little bit. So what I ended up doing was I didn't add all of these elements, and I didn't add them. There's a couple big ones that had been put in there that didn't really flow. So I did this one, I thought was kind of like the sunshine. And then I kind of did the 3 there. And then here I made a triangle with 3. And if down here, there's an odd number. This side, there's a big one, and then 3. So again, you can see how I interwove the odds, and you can make different giant triangles from them. But it was very cute the way it was charted. I just decided to kind of make it a little bit minimalist. But when I had this one and these 3, it was a little too minimalist. So then I started to play around with some of the other ones. I used all the called for DMCs. I don't know if they put it in, I don't want to show any pattern or anything. It is, I think I'll chart it in DMC. The only thing I change is I use anchor black when 310 is called, because I like the coverage of the anchor better. So there we go. That's a finish. No clue whatsoever how I'm going to finish it, but I loved stitching this. Loved it so much. Crocette Go-Go. I am all over some more of their patterns. I really want to try some more of their patterns. So that's the first finish. The second one, I did it, my Christmas list. I was struggling near the end. I just wanted to do it and get it finished. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with the angel. But here we go. All right, so from a distance, you can't see anything. Here we go. This is stitched on 18 count Seaglass from Bestitchme. I did change a few things along the way. If there's a green that's charted in the pattern that's very similar to this fabric. So I did change things a little bit along the way. If you ever decide to do it along this color scheme and you want to bounce ideas off of me, feel free. I did connect the candy canes. I liked them better once they were connected. And then the angel, I did end up using a toile, and you can't see the sparkle. In person you can though, it's quite pretty. So she sparkles with a little silver sparkle. So that was, wow, the light here. I thought it's not too bad today. And so I figured I didn't have to put any overhead lighting on and get a glare. So that's what we have. That's the bottom part. So this is done. I am totally intimidated with trying to finish this. I will do it, but I'm just a little intimidated by it. But I'm so excited to have it done. It was a fun stitch, but I was definitely ready to say, okay, I'm done with it. So those are my two finishes. All right, whips. What do I have for whips? So this whip I brought back a couple weeks ago. This is Lizzie Kate's Coming to Town Santa. And this was so the next two are whips that I brought back from last year. This one was on a coffee tea dyed 18 count that I did myself. And as you can see, I am working around. He has no face. I think at this point, I'm just gonna do everything and then go back to do his face and his whiskers, because I do have the whisper. I think I told you last week, because I think I had found it. I had the fuzzy stuff. So that is for his beard. And I figure I'll wait till the end and just do that as a finish up. So that's what that's fun as. It's coming along. It's fun. It's cute. Traditional Lizzie Kate colors. You could probably do most of her Christmas things, and she likes the same colors, so I just kind of go from one to the next. So that's the first one. Second one I brought back last week. It was the first time. It was the Prairie Schooler. I think it was last week. And I am doing this top one, the Harvest Time. Well, Harvest Time is the book, and this one is the village. Thank you so much to the person that suggested check Prairie Schooler, this Prairie Schooler site, and they have errors listed. They did list the barn as an error, and they said what to do instead. I had already stitched it, so it's staying. Sadly though, they still say that the pumpkin should be 434 and 435. I'm debating on that one. That one still the jury is out on. Didn't get much done this week on this one. Let me fold it a little bit. This is what we have. So I've got a little farther along on, I basically did over here. I continued with trees and I started the next building over there. I'm coming to realize right now, I don't know what I did, but I did aggravate my arthritis to a certain degree in my chest, and that then travels to my neck and my back. And so I can't sit for more than maybe 45 minutes. So my stitching time will be a little bit of erratic. I am working hard at stretching and working on the areas that really need help. So fingers crossed that will continue to get better and I can stitch some more. About 10 years ago, I stopped doing my paper crafting sitting. You sit at the chair and you'd be bent over, which was aggravating my neck. And I actually, very simple fix. I took a 6-foot table, your traditional 6-foot table. I cut PVC piping and I put it underneath each leg and I raised it up so, it's about maybe chest height. And so now I stand and I do all my paper crafting standing. I haven't figured out how I can stitch standing up yet, so I have to work on that yet and see. But at the moment, it's a little bit erratic, and some days I didn't get a lot of stitching in just because it really wasn't comfortable to sit. So that's where I have with that. I do like this one, and I even like the subdued colors, except maybe not the pumpkin. This one I did, there is a pumpkin here that I did stitch in the called for, but I'm not loving it. So we'll see what happens. But that's that one. All right, my last work in progress, iPad. So you know what's coming up when I grab the iPad. This is a pattern called Nantucket Christmas Trio? Christmas and Nantucket Trio. I will get it right one of these times. My Nantucket Trio by Hemlock and Rye Stitchery. So those are the 3 patterns. I have stitched this one and this one, and I am now currently working on the 3rd one, and I'm stitching them all in a row. And I connected house 2 with 3. Oh, by the way, this is just on plain old 18 count cream, ivory, whatever it happens to be called. And here we go. Look at. I love it. Last house is on the fabric. So what I did was I extended the fence just a little bit and added the greenery a little bit. And then I think I added, I'm not sure, I think I added a little bit at the top so that now connects seamlessly. And I got a nice start on the house itself. I love the 3 colors that Julie has charted for these, and it's gonna look so nice when it's done. This is on 18 count Nantucket Sky by Fabrics by Stephanie. And that's a close-up of the last house. So excited, I cannot wait. Every time I decided, okay, it's the time to pull this one out each week, I'm so excited to do it. I cannot wait to see it finished. So those are the whips that had been continuing along. And then I do have one that I brought back for a return of the whip return. I can't decide what to call it, so I kind of just go with both. This one I had started last year again. This is called ChristmasLand by Raise the Roof Designs. I don't know how great a picture that is. I am doing this one on Confederate Gray, 18 count. Just your traditional, this was my first foray into colors, was I think like there was a Confederate Gray and maybe like a pewter and a few other ones on 1, 2, 3 Stitch that I tried first, just to branch out from the white and the ivory, and of course then I got the Vintage Country Mocha. So this is why some of my Christmas ones are all on this as well, because I just gravitated to it, and that's what I had before I found out about the whole world of hand-dyed fabrics. So that's what we have so far. I had, pretty much all I had was half the tree and the little kind of smoke coming from the house, and then part of the roof. And I'm pretty sure why I did it that way was I had done these little snowflakes, and they don't pop on this fabric. So I got a little worried, and so I did some of the roof. This is actually ecru as opposed to white. If I had known back then about, say, B5200, I might have switched it up, but I didn't, so this is what we went with. But I think it'll be fine. I think with all the stuff around it and everything, there'll be snow along here, but then there's words below that, so I think it'll be fine. So it's a cute little village scene, and I think I will do the words. It basically says, the street is filled with visions grand, a lovely night in ChristmasLand. So, super cute, fun. The tree is a little quirky. The stars are a little quirky. It's not, traditionally symmetrical and everything else. So I thought that was kind of cute too. That appealed to me. So I am enjoying this one. I know people have asked for Kringles to come back, so next week maybe I will devote a day to Kringles. It won't be part of my regular rotation, but maybe I'll try to pull it out once or twice a month just to get a little bit in with it. But especially with Christmas coming, it's a little bit too big of a project for me to really commit to. But that one I really like. I won't have this one finished by Christmas, but I'd like to get a little ways along with it. It's cute. I like it. Besides bringing back Kringles, I was thinking about maybe some Christmas smalls. I have a few that I have bought, digital patterns as well as non-digital. So I might pull out a few of those just to get a few little smalls done and possibly finished. I don't know yet. I haven't tried making ornaments yet. I have a teeny tiny Prairie Schooler that I did last year that I want to try making an ornament with. But I think I want to put a little bit of, is it batting that you put to kind of make it a little puffy? Because it's small. It is a really small ornament because it's done an 18 count. What if that's what you put behind there, is there a certain type you buy? I really don't know. So if you think of it and you could leave a comment about what I should buy, then I can maybe try to get some of that and try to do a little ornament finish. I have enough ribbons and twines and everything else that shouldn't be a problem. So we'll see. That's maybe along the plans as well, if one day I get to any type of finishing. Shopping, not much. You'll be proud of me. I have not done a lot of shopping. And one of them is a fabric of the month. So shocker, my Bestitchme fabric of the month came in. I was really surprised because it always comes in on Friday afternoons after I videotaped. So I'm always showing it after you've seen pretty much it on every floss tube possible. I get the standard, which is usually the colors, not the neutrals. So if you get that and you don't want to see, this is on an aida, which you know that it could be different on other types of fabrics, but if you want to be completely surprised, look away and I will tell you when to look back. The name of this doesn't seem to give it away, so I'm going to say the name. The name is called Guardian. Don't look if you don't want to see the fabric of the month for November for Bestitchme, and this is what it is. It's very pretty, really pretty. I think there'll be a lot of different things you can do with it, and I am looking forward to trying to find some patterns for it. So that is the fabric of the month. You can look back now. It is no longer showing. So if you want to be surprised, you will be surprised. It should, if it came to my mailbox, and I'm on Brandy's end of her list. She starts shipping usually on a Monday, and I never get shipped till Tuesdays. So I got it on Thursday, which is fantastic. I'm noticing, I actually checked my tracking for some orders and giveaways and stuff that went out. My stuff is slow. It's slow. It's almost running a week, but this came fast. The only other thing that I got was, let me turn the iPad this way, was a digital pattern. I thought this was cute. This is an Etsy shop, and it's called My Fanny. And she has a whole series of different Santas. And look at those dogs. I had to get it for the dogs. I'm sure I may pick up some more Santas along the way, but I did pick up that one. I'll link it down below so you can see. She has a series of either 8 or 9 different Santas. One with cardinals, one with cats, one with snowmen, and a whole bunch of other things. So if you're interested, I will link it so that you can see what she's got. And that's it. I did see the new, what are they calling it? It's the new autumn one that just came out from Autumn Lane Stitchery. It's the whole town picture. Really pretty. I really like it a lot. I don't know if I'll get it yet because I don't think I'll start stitching it now because we're kind of leaving autumn. But what I'll do is I'll favorite it on Etsy. So then every once in a while I like to, do you guys do this where you go to your favorites on Etsy and you go through and you look and you say, oh, you know what? I'm going to order that today because I feel like ordering something. So I always put them in the favorites and then I can always just revisit them when I want. So shopping, that's it. Giveaways. I have, this time, again, I remembered, so I'm proud of myself. The question about the cranberries was great. You guys do a lot of baking with it. My oven is a little temperamental when it comes to baking. It's fine when you're cooking, but baking, you have to be a little bit more precise. So I haven't done a lot, but you guys are definitely tempting me to try, what's the worst that can happen? It'll just have to cook 15 minutes longer and maybe be a little dry. So we will see. The giveaway for this week was a Stitching with the Housewives chart. It's the paper chart for Jolly Claus and Merry Mrs. Claus. So let's see who's getting that. I'm all caught up on giveaways sent out. I am loving the whole pick up at the mailbox thing. One less thing I have to do. I just have to make sure it's out there early enough on the day that I'm going to ship it so that it gets picked up. Although my mail comes late, so I probably worry for nothing. But the winner is, who's the winner? Jennifer Garrison. So Jennifer Garrison, you have won the paper chart of Jolly Claus and Merry Misses. So if you could please either email your address to my Gmail account below. I'm going to put your name right in the plastic and the container so we know exactly that it's you. So if you could send me your address either through the Gmail account or feel free to DM me on Instagram. Every once in a while I mess up, but I seem to be better. I'm getting better at checking those messages. So I caught the messages last time, so I'm doing much better with that. So if you would like to DM me on Instagram, my Instagram name, Paper Laura, is down below. You're more than welcome to do that as well. This week's giveaway, I have a copy of the Christmas Ornaments 2020 holiday issue. So you get a copy of this. Lots of cute little patterns. So if you don't have this yet and you would like to enter, my question this week, I have been stitching lately. If it's not to floss tube, I've been stitching to Hallmark movies. So my question is, Hallmark movies, yes or no? Do you love them or do you hate them? Or really don't care about them? But are they me? I love Countdown to Christmas with Hallmark, and we have Hallmark movies that we watch every year as a family. And then some that I just watch myself every year. This year so far, I'm a weekend behind, but I've taped all the ones from last weekend. This year's been pretty good. I've really, sometimes you get some that are not so great. But this year I have to say I'm really enjoying the Hallmark movies. So tell me, are you a Hallmark movie person or not? And you know the drill. If you want to answer the question but not enter the giveaway, answer the question. Tell me what your favorite one is. Do you have a favorite? My family every year has to watch Naughty or Nice and Chrissy Kringle. Well, Chrissy Kringle is in Naughty and Nice. So that is one. I have to actually find it and see if I can tape it so that we'll be able to watch it this year. So do you have one that you absolutely have to watch? Or you have one this year that you really like? Just answer that. If you want to enter the giveaway, you please be 18. Please don't say giveaway. I would love it if you would be a subscriber. Say the word turkey. Since we are coming up on Thanksgiving, answer the question and say the word turkey if you'd like to be entered. If you already have the magazine or you don't want it, but you want to talk about Hallmark movies, please do so, because I'm loving the Hallmark season. So that's that. Other than that, just remember that there is a coupon code to jubilantslane.com for you all. It's Stitching by the Shore, all one word, gets you $10 off of your order, and that is over and above whatever sale prices she happens to have. A couple people have said that they've ordered, and Shirley's shipping she's fantastic. She's very much on the ball, and she gets things out right away. Once the post office gets it, you can't really control it, but her end of it, she's very good and very responsive. So feel free to give it a try. And if you do, show me what you got. I want to see. I love it when I can see what other people are buying. Other than that, this one's going to be a short one. We're going to hit 30 minutes. I haven't done that in a while. There's not a lot going on. Megan comes home tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, right? So she comes home tomorrow. She was tested last Saturday, which really doesn't help because then she was around everybody for a week at school. So she's going to do a little mini quarantine here at home and be tested probably midweek this coming week. We are only doing Thanksgiving with the four of us and probably FaceTiming. I'm not sure we can get the grandparents Zooming. we've got them figured out FaceTime. I think that's where we're going to go with it. So probably be FaceTiming. It's supposed to be rainy this week, so I don't think we can do anything outside with them, although maybe if it's a nice day, we can at least just go visit one day over the weekend, socially distant, and just say hello. But I asked the kids what they wanted, and a lot of what we cook already is what is probably going to be on our table, and we'll just have lots of leftovers, which I adore having leftovers, because if I don't have to cook for 2 or 3 days, I'm all over it. I love it. So I cannot believe we are hitting Thanksgiving. That it will be next week when I talk to you. It will be the Friday afterwards. We're not going shopping. We used to. Every year I would go with my mom. I don't know. Well, last year my mom was it last year or 2 years ago? My mom had broke her kneecap, and we haven't been able to do this. Well, when she did it the first year, she wasn't walking at all. And then I think that was 2 years ago. And then last year, I don't really know. But for years and years and years, probably 20 years, I would go Black Friday shopping with my mom. And then when Megan got old enough, she would come with us. But obviously this year, we are not going to do that. And we're just going to be doing all sorts of typing on the computer and ordering online. And as a little friendly reminder, small businesses really, really, really could use your business this year. So if it's between a one person show or a bigger business, if you can find it with the one person show, if you could give them a little love. There's a meme that goes out there that says it's really true that small person, one person business, they really do a little dance every time they get a sale. And so if over the holiday weekend you can think about that. I think Saturday is Small Business Saturday, sponsored by American Express. So it's always fun to give a little love to the small businesses. Just a little thought, especially if you're looking for crafty or you're looking for anything else. Oh, and if you are shipping presents this year, please get them out early. I just found out from my shippers that regular mail, and it's not a guarantee, but the absolute last day they're saying is December 18th to get somewhere for Christmas within, I'd say, the US, but I wouldn't bank on that. I wouldn't bank on that. And some things may get faster, but I would guarantee you some things would get slower. And priority mail is not a guarantee. It says priority 2-day mail, but it's not a guarantee. So it does not always get there within the 2 or 3 days, even if you're paying extra. So that's my little PSA. If you are going to be shipping, think about it now. Start thinking about it over the next few weeks and get it out early. You can always say, don't open until X amount of day. But if they have it, then you know that they'll have it. And that's about it. I hope you all, if you are in the US, I hope you all have a lovely Thanksgiving. If you are not in the US, I hope you all have a lovely week and enjoy whatever you're doing. I hope everybody is staying safe and well. Just take care of yourselves, please. By taking care of yourself, you take care of others, and it's just lovely. And I keep telling my family, next Thanksgiving, we'll be that much more grateful and appreciate being with each other after we get through this year. So that's it. I hope you have a great week, my stitchy friends, and you are well. And until next time, happy stitching.